What do you get when Mediterranean meze gets a Mumbai makeover? Pure aubergines. I don't make these mum jokes up. This sharing platter looks like simple roasted vegetables, but it's your favourite plant-based doctor here, Tila, and I'm telling you, it's secretly smuggling in 16 grams of protein. Will this East meets West fusion live up to my mum's famous aubergine dish, ringra na oro, began ka bharta? Let's get cooking and put it to the test.
I don't think it would taste better than my ringra no oro.
So can you guess what I'm doing next? Is it a blender? Is it a plate? No, we're making the paste for the aubergines. So this is a deconstructed version of a Gujarati dish called bharela, ringra and batatanu shak. Obviously we don't have potatoes today, but this is such an easy version, but it will have the same flavour notes. Right, so this is the first non-traditional segment of this. This is the Mediterranean. We've got some tahini here, which is a sesame seed paste, which is full of healthy fats and omega-3s. We'll add that in. My pouring's getting better. I'm getting really good at this. Could be a hand model. Then we've got some lemon juice. Do you like my nails? Now this is a garlic forward dish, all right? We've got quite a few cloves of garlic here that have been crushed, but add as little or as much as you like. If you don't want to use garlic, then use asafoetida hing, as I say in all my recipes. Then I've got some extra virgin olive oil. This is totally optional, but we're only using 1 teaspoon of oil in this whole recipe, and it's to serve 4 people. We've got some nutritional yeast, again, a non-traditional option, but nutritional yeast is full of protein, and where you can add it in, and it will help get this aubergine quite crispy. Now I've got my spices. So I've got some cumin powder here, I've got some coriander powder, I've also got some Kashmiri chili powder. Omit this if you're cooking for kids. I don't know how many kids like aubergines though. Actually mine do like aubergine. And then we've got some garam masala. I like using pav bhaji masala as always. Some black pepper and some turmeric, which complement each other, as well as salt to taste. Then we're going to add some water just to make this into a paste that we can baste on the aubergines. So I think, let me add 4 and then see. I think the original recipe I used about 5, but we'll see. Things happen differently. I don't know what it is. Maybe the air, different environment when you're filming. Yeah, see, that's quite spreadable, I think. Maybe 1 more spoon of water. I'll put half. And that's our paste, which is ready. Right, now we're going to cut our aubergines. Let's not drop our aubergines. What do you call them in your country? So in the UK we call them aubergines, but in America I know they're called eggplants. And the reason why they're called eggplants is because the original aubergines were shaped like an egg and white in colour. The word aubergine actually comes from an Arabic word. If anyone can guess and tell me in the comments, I'll give a shout out to you in my next video. So let's get cutting. So these are washed and we're just going to tail the aubergine. So we take off this bit and take off this outer layer. Then we're going to keep a grip here and we're going to cut these into slices. So we're going to have 1-inch thick slices. If they're smaller than that, don't worry, they'll still cook really well. How many aubergines do I go through in secret? And the reason why aubergines are so good is because they contain soluble fibre. That's a sticky fibre which basically mops up cholesterol, so it's good at protecting us from heart disease. Obviously if you don't put loads of oil on them and fry them. They also contain an antioxidant called nasonein, which protects our cell membranes. This is where it goes a bit tits up. That one's a little bit funny shaped, but that's fine. I'll just slit it down the middle like this. And I'll cut this one up and then I'll show you how you groove it. In Gujarati, we call them ringra. I know that in Hindi, they're called began. Like I said, tell me what you call them. Okay, so I've got a tray here. I'm just gonna move this aside. So let's take these aside and let me show you how you groove them. So you can do this just like that, like noughts and crosses, or you can just do it diagonally. And you don't wanna go to the full thickness of the aubergine. You only want to go like 2/3 of the way so it doesn't cut through it. And you just make some grooves. This will help the marinade stick, and then we do it the other way. If you don't like aubergines, because a lot of people find them sticky and don't like the texture, you can use courgettes. I know people that don't like courgettes, so you're a little bit stuck there. You could do it on a cauliflower if you wanted. Obviously, you're not going to make grooves in it like this. Okay, so we're going to do that with each slice. I'm like, which way am I going? And because we're using baking paper, these aubergines won't stick. But if you've cut your aubergines quite thin, then they may stick. So you might want to spray some extra virgin olive oil on your tray. This will work well with mustard oil as well. Okay, let's set aside the extra slices and we'll deal with them later. As you can see, they're lovely and scored. So we're going to put the paste on top of the aubergines. If this thickens too much, you can always add a little bit more water. I might add a tiny bit. It smells so good. And you can use your hands to get it in the grooves or use a brush. I've forgotten my lovely brush, so I borrowed my mum's, which has seen better days. I think it was born when she was born in the 1970s. She's going to tell me off now. I've told everyone what her age is. And you can double this paste if you've got bigger aubergines. I'm being over generous here. And we'll just dab that. Try and get it in the grooves a little bit. And you can actually serve these with other sort of meze things if you're sharing, or even if you're not sharing. It's a lovely dinner to have lots of different things. On my website, I've got a recipe for batata hara, which is a Lebanese potato dish. It's so Moorish. And I've also got a recipe for a Lebanese inspired salad as well. So do check that out. They go really well together. And you can have this with pitta. We're making an Indian hummus to go with this as well. Don't shoot me with the fact that this is not authentic. So 5 hours later, you'll see that I tidy this up and make it look neater. All right, we'll let that marinate and we'll make the hummus. Okay, this is where the blender comes out. This is a different one. You haven't seen this in previous videos. It's my Vitamix. I use it to make my smoothies every morning. I promise you, we're not using the stove today, at least. We're just using the oven. All right, so let's put in here some plant-based yogurt. I've got some unsweetened high-protein soya yogurt, but use whichever you like. Put that in. I can do things ulta, like do things backwards now. Next, I'll be able to write with my left hand. I'm ambidextrous. Next, we've got some cannellini beans, which I've just drained and rinsed. So we'll put that in. Then I've got some garlic, which I've crushed. You don't need to crush it in here because it is going to blend. I told you it's a garlic forward dish. And you're sharing, so you can all smell of garlic. Next, we've got some more tahini. Add that in. We've got some lemon juice. How high up should I do it? I've got my spices here, and this is what gives it an Indian twist. So I've got some cumin powder, some coriander powder. If I can see, there's some Kashmiri chili powder, salt to taste, as well as garam masala. I've used powerhouses masala again. Add as much or as little as you like, and you can taste this and see. So let's put that in. Got it all in because it's the world's biggest blunder. It's the world's biggest blunder. Okay, let's put it in. Then I've got some mustard seeds, which I've just ground up in a pestle and mortar. As you can see, this is what gives it its yellow color. When you bash it, it turns this yellowy color. I can't believe my video on mustard seeds went viral on YouTube, like 15k viewers. Who knew it? Mustard seeds and popping. Really, people have this kind of fetish for like that sound, maybe, I don't know. Next, I'm going to put some fresh coriander. So just about 2 tablespoons worth. This is where I'm like my mom, guess. And we're just going to put the lid on and blend. You can serve this hot or cold, whatever you like. Gosh. That's lovely and smooth now. Let me show you. I didn't need to add water, but if yours is not blending properly, just add a few tablespoons of water. Right, so let's get cooking. We're gonna preheat the oven to 200 Celsius, and we're gonna put these aubergine in for about 20 to 25 minutes. Okay, so these are done now. As you can see, they're lovely and golden, and we're just gonna display this. This is our hummus here, which is lovely and creamy.
Actually, you presented this dish very well with the flowers, and it tastes so good. I ate for 2 days.
So would you say it's better than your ringrana or raw?
Well, similar.
And there you have it, 16.5 grams of protein per serving. That proves plant-based eating is anything but lacking. But here's what I really want you to think about. Everyone's obsessing over protein, but what about fibre? Are you getting enough? This dish delivers nearly 10 grams of fibre. That's what's going to transform your gut health, stabilise your blood sugar and keep you satisfied for hours. Next week, we're diving into another game-changing recipe that will have you wondering why you ever thought plant-based meant boring. See you in the next video.